When do you think they upgrade to 19.2?
So the idea of Oracle is that they want to.
One more thing, the email issue.
And this is what I don't want. I don't want as a mechanic.
Okay, now hold on. Now you switch the use case. Now you're not in
no, as a developer, I have to start that.
Yeah, I'm in my example. In my I'm the developer of my car, and I'm just too lazy to start the engine in the morning, and I don't want to avoid waiting 60 seconds for the screen getting clean. So I'm just letting it run for the whole weekend. Welcome, guys, to an Oracle Apex on-air show. Remember that we had this on-air shows a year ago or 2 years ago. It was basically replaced by the office hours, which is perfect. And now we decided to do another video cast. And today's topic is the Oracle Free Cloud. I have the expert for this area, the guy who wrote 150 blogs about it and knows everything in detail. Dimitri Guielis. Welcome, Dimitri.
Yeah, thank you, Jürgen. But I'm not an expert.
Yes,
I wrote about the things that I try myself.
But of course you're an expert. By the way, you're also an Apex, not an Apex. You're also an Apex ace, but also an Oracle ace. I mean, you wrote books. You are the expert. Period. And I basically set up my cloud with your instructions. So, and it worked fine. So I think a lot of people used your instructions, and I know out of my head 5 people who used your instructions. Today we want to talk about the Oracle Free Cloud in general, do's and don'ts, and on a high level for dummies. This is my expertise level, and also about the issues. There is this email thing that came up, and other stuff we need to talk about. Stuff like, will it be upgraded to 19.2? Can we wait for it, or will it take another half a year like we are used to for other environments where we don't have any influence? So we will answer all these questions today, and facts, and also discuss our opinions about it.
Yeah. And some things are like rumors.
And some things are rumors. We need to tell you guys that we are in contact with the Oracle Cloud people. They are very helpful, very elaborate, and happy to explain us everything. And so we have inside informations. I think it's really worth it to watch this video cast if you are interested in the Oracle Free Cloud. Yeah, it is definitely. Dimitri, let me start. Give me a high level introduction, or let me ask a simple question. Or you say, yeah, that's true, or it's nonsense. So what I understood, we have now a database with 20 gigabytes of space and 1 CPU for free. Is this right?
Yes.
Okay.
100% right.
Okay.
But it's more than just.
Okay. Yeah, it's more than that. Just give me. I want to make this show also for people who are no nerds and don't know all the abbreviations and right. People who maybe want to start in this area. Okay, so we get a free database in the cloud. With restrictions, and the restrictions are huge compared, for example, to the also free XE version of the database, which has 12 gig of space, right? Or can you compare? Can you compare the offer?
This is how I see it. Like with Oracle XE, you can basically download the Oracle software for free, but you still have to install everything yourself. And with this always free Oracle Cloud thing, everything is already installed for you. But it's not like XE. It's like you have Enterprise Edition features. This autonomous database has Enterprise Edition features too. but there's a difference in the XE version. It's like at the moment it's like the 18 version, whereas the autonomous database you get the best database out there with like automated tuning, and so it's more than XE.
Oh,
and it runs on better hardware as
oh,
well.
good to know. Oh, it runs on better hardware. It is more.
It runs on the best like Exadata machines. So it's the best that Oracle has that you get for free with certain limits. But it's very close to the paid version. It's not 100% the same because they don't run in the same pods, like they call it, or like the same. It's the same data center, but not on the same machines.
Which is an important information, right? It's an important information for customers to know. Hey guys, don't be afraid of your cloud environments, of your paid cloud environments. People don't mess it up with the free cloud. If there are 1,000 people who are ordering on your data center free cloud instances, your paid cloud instance won't be affected because it's a different machine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good information.
It's very. I didn't know in the beginning either, and like when I found it out, I thought it was a good thing. At the same time, you really want the same thing as what you get when you are a paid user, but it's very close to that. But a big difference is there's no SLA. There's
okay.
Like,
we come to that. Just let's start. Okay, now we have on the one hand we have the XE database, but the free cloud database is the better database. It has more space, more resources, 12 gig, 20 gig, better version, faster, better hardware, and installed in a couple of minutes. Or you don't have to install it at all. You just have to configure it through a cloud environment platform.
Yeah, and XE is not patchable like security things. Like you don't have the upgrades with XE, whereas with the cloud you have all those things.
Okay, so
and there's also a very big difference. Like it's not just a database that you get. So you get actually two autonomous databases. And there are two types of autonomous databases.
Okay, stop. Too much information.
Okay.
All right. So we have. So if you guys out there thinking about, oh, I heard about this XE database, let me install that. Wait a minute. There's a better version out there. It's easier for you. You can configure it completely through a web browser. You don't have to install anything on your machine. You can access it from everything and everywhere in the world. So you would always suggest take the new autonomous free cloud instead of installing XE.
Saying like always is a big thing.
Yeah,
like if
that's
you have
true.
To run offline, like it's better to use XE. If you have to run within your own small group and you cannot have outside access, XE is still very good. But yeah, in general, I would say like it's more easy and it's better to go with the Oracle Cloud.
Okay, so and now you already spoiled it. It's not just one free database. You actually get two free databases, which are exactly the same configuration, which means you can have basically a development database and a production database, right?
Yes, but you also have two types of database. So you have.
Wait a minute.
You don't want to go in that yet.
See, this is why you need a regular guy to stop you, because you're going too fast into details. Okay, so it's not just, guys, you don't just get one free database on the best machines, the latest and greatest version on a best hardware. You actually get two different databases for free. And they are completely the same, right? They are not. There's not a difference in the specs anywhere. So
no.
Completely clones. Okay. So most of us, we are all Apex developers. What is the good news here?
So you have one machine for development, one for production.
Yes. And can you install Apex on the database?
Apex is already there.
This was the right answer. So Apex is already there. But Well, I think one thing that's still, if you are a professional developer, you probably want to use SQL Developer, right? To work with your packages. This is what you probably can do with the cloud. Can you?
Yeah, you can just connect to the cloud machine. Yeah, exactly. So you can use SQL Developer, SQL CL, like the tools that you want to use or that you used to use. You can just connect to the Oracle Cloud.
Are you talking about the new SQL Developer web thing?
No, SQL CL is like the command line version of SQL Developer.
But
people still like SQL Plus, like the SQL Plus equivalent, SQL CL.
But you also, if you say connect with SQL Developer, means the SQL Developer you have installed on your local machine.
Yeah, so you can do both, right? You can do the SQL Developer web one, and you can have SQL Developer which is just locally running on your own machine.
Okay, so you have full SQL Developer access to your cloud database.
Exactly.
The regular client app on your machine, SQL Developer you are used to work with for the last 10 years. And if you, on holiday without a device, you can also use the new SQL Developer web on every web browser on the planet. And also have a similar development environment without even having your own machine with you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's just good.
I was just thinking about one difference though with Oracle XE. So with the cloud, you get a pluggable database, right? So you get 2 pluggable databases. With Oracle XE, you have to create those pluggable databases, but I believe you can have up to 3 pluggable databases.
Where can you have up to 3 pluggable? On the XE?
On the XE version. I think so. I was just going to look. I don't know that by heart.
Okay. We will try to find this out.
Okay.
And we'll keep you posted, definitely. You can always write questions in the comments. This will be published on the apex.world channel in YouTube, and ask questions in the comments. We will check there every now and then and try to figure out the latest news about it. Okay, now we have 2 great latest and greatest databases with Apex, with SQL Developer. How long does it take for a regular guy, let's say with a professional instruction like you did, to get up and running?
I would say like in 15 minutes, you're up and running.
Okay, this is a statement. 15 minutes up and running, ready for development. That's great. I mean, we all know Oracle, right? And we don't trust really Oracle, not yet. I mean, they say it's always free, but most of the time there's some caveat and hooks, hidden hooks, where you suddenly say, well, it's always free, but is this also true for this service? Is there something where you say, well, they say it's always free, but be aware if you use it with this intensity and 24/7 full power, then you will automatically reach a certain limit and you will automatically transfer to a paid version, blah, 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 stuff like that.
No, so if you sign up for the always free, like this was one of the things why I started this blog series. I was really impressed by Oracle that they gave that, and there's a big change in the perception of what Oracle did before. So here you get an always free, and we have to, like, you can only tell in the future if it was always free, but I believe them, it will always be free. But there are some certain restrictions. So you have to understand the restrictions. For example, if you don't use the database, that it shuts down automatically after 7 days, or it's not shut down, it's like stopped, and you can restart. But so there are certain limitations with the always free. But if you can live with that, then it's perfect,
but you don't have to be afraid that it's just how do you say it?
that Oracle comes, like this is what they said about Apex too, that Apex, Oracle will charge for Apex in the future. And Oracle has never done this.
Yeah, this is a different story. This is a different story. But now they explicitly announced this is an always free database. Larry announced it on open world. So, but because we know Oracle for the last 20, 30 years, there are a lot of people out there. And I talked to a guy, a friend of mine. I said, well, did you know about this new service, always free database? I said, well, I don't really believe that this was really free. And they will, yeah. And this is the amazing news, right? Because I personally, I would be, how do we say it? I would doubt that or I would have a little bit afraid that I run into some configuration issue or I use more than I allowed to, and then suddenly I get an invoice from Oracle.
No, like you cannot get the invoice. So
this will never happen. You can use your database full power 24/7. You can do whatever you want to do. You will never get an invoice from Oracle.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good news. All right, you talked already about these restrictions or limitations, like they stop your database after 7 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which means, well, I love. It's true. I mean, I experienced that. I created 2 databases after you posted your blog post, and because, well, I want to have a first-hand experience. And it's true, they stopped the database after 7 days, or I don't know. How long does it take to turn it on again?
Oh, less than a minute.
Okay, less than a minute. So if you don't need the database, it shuts down. It basically goes into a hibernate mode like your laptop. And if you say, well, I didn't use it for the last 2 months, fine. Now I want to look something up, turn it up in a minute, right? So no time, right?
Yeah, you have to connect to the Oracle Cloud. You go to your service and you hit the start button.
Yeah.
And then you wait like a few seconds, up to a minute, and then it's there.
Okay, no big deal. Nothing that you have to start the reconfiguration again or go through.
But like with the example that you gave, that wouldn't work because after 30 days, they would reclaim it. So you have to be careful. So after 7 days, it's like hibernate, like a stop, and then you have to start again. After 30 days without usage, they can reclaim that.
What do you mean reclaim?
That it's gone. That they can say, okay, we will remove this database.
So if you are not using the database for 30 days, then they will delete it.
Yes, potentially delete it.
What do you mean potentially? So do you get them?
They might reclaim. Like if you look at the documentation, like I don't know exactly how they phrase it, but I don't know if it on the clock 30 days, bam, it's gone. I don't know if that happens or if they see that more people request databases and they want to like get more space or something, and then they would delete older versions. I don't know that.
What about the 90 days? I heard about there's a 90 days period where something is happening. So I wrote down something 7 days. I know it's the database goes into a hibernate mode. You have to restart it. But the second parameter was 90 days. What's happening after 90 days?
So is it 90 days then? I thought it was 30 days.
So the possible reclaim, you said, of the database, meaning deletion of the database, is probably happening after 90 days, not after 30 days.
We can quickly check that. Oh yeah, it's 90 days. It's not 30 days.
Okay, it's 90 days. After 90 days, your database can be deleted. But you don't lose your cloud environment. You just have to reinstall your database within 15 minutes again.
Yeah.
Are you losing your data?
I believe so.
Yeah. Is there any,
You can back it up to object storage. or like you back it up locally, then you would need to re-add it in the cloud.
Okay.
But I would encourage not to let it delete. If you think like I will need it in the future, then make sure that you log in within like 90 days. So it's not being deleted.
Okay. Okay, guys. So it's 90 days. If you don't use it for that period of time, the documentation says it may be reclaimed, meaning deleted. If you don't have any backups, your data is gone. But if you don't use it for, let's say, 3 months, then, well, you probably don't really need the data anyway. And you could restart or reinstall the database within 15 minutes and you're good to go without your data, right?
Yes.
But it's 100% safe that you don't have to that you ever get an invoice from Oracle. Okay, yes. So right now we have the database, but we also have another thing. We have actually also a Linux virtual machine for free. And actually not one, but even two.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
So having a machine is like having a virtual machine on your own laptop, or basically having a laptop somewhere, and you can install software on it. So in the case of where I use it for and what I wrote on the blog post, is ideal to host, for example, a website. If you have a website of your football team or like your local club, you can just host it on that. If you want to connect it to Apex, you could do it from this machine. You could, maybe this is too technical, set it up as a reverse proxy to the database and have your custom URL. So Oracle will come with a custom URL, but until then, you can use this virtual machine to serve for that purpose.
For the regular people. A custom URL. Right now, if you have a cloud account and you have access to your great Apex application, you won't see a very nice, friendly URL or your homepage URL on top. You will see a very long and ugly URL nobody will understand, right?
Yes.
So Oracle will come up with a solution. We talked with the database guys. This is on their list and it looks very good. That they will come up with a solution that you basically have my homepage /F ? P = my app, right?
Yeah.
So this will come in the future. For now, you just have an ugly URL. You have to deal with it, or you make some nerdy stuff that Dimitri can explain you that you can use the Linux server. Other than that, is there any connection? Do you have to install ORDS on this Linux machine to?
No, so ORDS is part of this autonomous database, so you have that included. But what you could run, for example, on it is like Python scripts or Perl scripts, or like you want to do some machine learning or some sort of that, and you need a machine in the cloud for that. You could do that, or for example, you want to use our print server. You can put AOP on that machine. It's very nice to have a machine where you can do anything with it. You could even install Oracle XE on that machine if you wanted.
Oh, that's a nice example. Okay. So it has nothing to do with the cloud environment. It's just on top another machine. One more thing. Here is a free machine for you to play around, right? Okay.
And two machines. So
actually,
again,
two machines.
Use it for development and production.
Do these Linux machines also have these restrictions that they got shut down after 7 days?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So you set those machines up and they're there.
And so will they ever expire after 90 days?
I didn't read anything on that.
So we don't think so, but we're not 100% sure.
Yes.
So your two Linux machines will be there forever.
It looks like that, yeah.
And for free. And okay, other restrictions you have with the free cloud thing, which I read, was there's no support, no service level agreement, no SLA, right? But somehow, which was confusing for me, is that you have this thing for 30 days and then it runs out, or
Yeah, so what Oracle actually does is like you sign up for a trial version, and they basically give you $500 or whatever the amount is at the time that you hear this. So you can try the entire cloud. So also the no free things. And after 30 days, those expire, but your always free things will always keep running and they will always remain free. So it's a bit confusing because you get an email like the trial is expired.
Exactly. I got 2 emails actually the other day that this says, your trial period is gone. And I immediately, because I didn't sign up for anything as far as I remembered, except the free cloud thing, I thought, oh, they delete my database now.
Yeah.
And so, Oracle, if you're listening, don't do that. Or please specify, this has nothing to do with your free cloud. It's always there. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's a nice thing that you get $500 once you start. And you can use it for anything you like. But yeah, it's really confusing if you're just going with this always free. It's a bit confusing.
So, what are you supposed to do with this $500? So let's say you set up this free database thing, and what do you need $500 for? I don't get it.
So let's say you have this free database. You have one OCPU, it's called. So, and you say, oh, I want to see how my application performs with 2 CPUs. So you set up a machine with 2 CPUs. And you want to try that. So if you try that within the first month, it's basically free because you have those $500 credits. So you can try different things.
But when I try something like, let's see how my application performs with 2 CPUs, will I be charged after a month, or if my credit? Now we're talking. Okay.
Yeah, so you will be charged then.
So you need to be.
So I had the example where like you get a load balancer for free too with this always free Oracle Cloud. We didn't talk about this, but there's much more than just the 2 databases and the 2 Linux machines. You also get like a load balancer and other stuff. So, but with the load balancer, the default is a paid selection. And I didn't pay attention. I just said like create load balancer. But that was paid. So after a month, I suddenly see like 0.2, like it's almost nothing, but euro on my charge. And I didn't have to pay for it, but I wondered like, what is that? And then I saw, it's this load balancer that I tried.
So we can say,
if you're not careful, you have to be careful with what you select the first month because you have those free credits and you can try all those things. But unless it says always free, it is not.
It will the credit will expire, and then you will pay for that.
Exactly.
So you can basically set up a configuration, which is part of it is free, and the other part, like a load balancer or whatever, or more space, will cost you extra.
Yeah.
Which
but this is a good thing.
Exactly. Thank you. This is
the way I see that is like with any customer, you go in and you set up this always free database and you start to develop. And once they're happy and they say like, no, we want to
make it real,
have this in production and support, Oracle made it really, really nice. You can just click a button, say move to a paid version, and they don't just migrate your account. They take a copy of your database and they move this to a paid version. But you still have like your development machine if you want. And then next to that, you have the paid version. So you can run the paid and the always free next to each other.
Oh, interesting. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think it's really well done, really well thought of. Yeah. And also the way they clone the things and that you can still have it, like it's really easy to go from development to test to production. Like it's I like that.
Okay, talking about development production thing. Also, what I heard is, oh, okay, you get this free cloud database. It's something like apex.world.com, is it? I said, well, not really. I mean, it's your own thing. Number one, you get your own internal workspace, right?
Yes.
You can create tons of workspaces. It's a complete environment, and the other thing is, um, you can use it for production. And I would clarify this expression because production means for different people, especially for tech people, something else. You can use it for commercial use.
Yes.
So you can make money out of it. You can, if you have an application, which is fine with a CPU on an amazing machine, which probably is fine with Apex because it doesn't need any resources and 20 gigabyte of data, you can earn a shitload of money without paying anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this said, why people would probably not suggest if you earn a shitload of money from your project, you should rather go to a paid environment is probably two things. First of all, you don't have support, right? If something is happening, you need to live with it to say, well, I need to fix it by myself, or I cannot call somebody and tell the guys, fix it. This is the one thing.
If you really, if you have a business and you grew so much and you need to really rely on it,
Yeah.
then it's better to go with support.
Yeah.
Then I would recommend go with a paid version.
Okay. And the second thing is you don't decide when your Apex versions gets upgraded, right?
At the moment, that's correct, yeah.
So you need to be prepared whenever Oracle decides to upgrade this free cloud to a new Apex version, that all your applications are ready to run on Apex 19.2 at this time. And they probably upgrade, not probably, they 100% upgrade all the databases at once, meaning you don't have 4 weeks time to test it on your development environment and then afterwards they do it on production. No, they update the whole suite in one day, and then suddenly you could end up with an application that is broken because there are some issues with 19.2 and your old plugins, for example, which are not running anymore, right? So you need to know that when you really think of I'm going to run productive commercial use applications there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, this is it. That's all the only restrictions, technical limitations, sleep after 7 days, probably deleted, maybe deleted after 90 days, no support. Be prepared that Oracle decides whenever Oracle wants to upgrade to new Apex version or a new database version, that you run into issues and that you can live with an outage until you fix it. Then this is your environment, right?
Yeah.
And for playing anyway, this is the best you can get anyway. All right. Then you talked at the beginning, there are two versions, basic versions of this database you can choose from.
Yeah, you have I call this ATP and ADB, like autonomous transaction processing. So it's the kind of load you expect on a database. And then you have autonomous transaction database, and then you have autonomous data warehouse database.
What's the difference?
Different optimized.
But
in 90% of the cases for Apex applications, you probably want the ATP, like the transaction process.
Explain to regular people what's the difference and when they should choose what.
Well, I'm not an expert in data warehouse, but so when you update records, or when you like an order entry system, or like you create records, you update records, you delete records. those are called transactions. So whenever you have this, it's best to go with this transaction database. If you have more like big loads, you want to do, you load all the database, all the data on the database, and then you want to do some kind of reporting, and it has to be optimized for that, then this data warehouse probably makes sense.
Okay, and if you're not sure, take ATP, the transaction.
This is what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay, fine. We talked about already that Oracle can upgrade this machine whenever it wants to. Speaking of upgrading, now it's running Apex 19.1. When do you think they upgrade to 19.2?
So the idea of Oracle is that they want to do this very fast. Now they have a bit of a delay, but typically they will do it around the same time as when they upgrade apex.oracle.com.
Okay, so very fast.
Very, very fast.
So we can expect at least in this year or maybe next week even or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Great. That's a great thing that we don't have to wait for so long.
But also for the database, like I don't mind that they upgrade it themselves. Like it's a power, right? It runs autonomously. So they do whatever they want and you get the best things straight away. Or at least like within, you don't have to wait months. So I think it's a good thing. Having said that, like if you go with a paid version, you can more schedule like this is the time frame when I want maintenance to happen. So you don't really have this with always free.
Yeah, sure.
And also the example that you gave, you want to test plugins, you want to test JavaScript things, all the custom things, you want to test that. You don't really have that chance with the always free cloud.
You need to expect that your applications are not running for 1 day, a couple of days, depending on how many old stuff or custom stuff you have in there, which is not running with, let's say, an old new jQuery version. Well, we always have this compatibility mode, but we all...
Like, Apex is really good in running like old applications.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's there are two things where you have to be careful. One is like when you build custom things, like the example I gave earlier with the JavaScript or plugins that you use, and they're not compatible with the jQuery version and the new version of Apex.
Or they using markup selectors which are changed.
Yeah, the Universal team changed those things. This happened way more before, where you had different teams. With the Universal team, it's less of an issue, I think, but it might happen, definitely. But the other thing, what you have to be aware of, like I have applications I built in 2007 or in 2012, like a long time ago, and sometimes Apex deprecates features. What that means is they are still running, but at some point it might go away. So if you have one of those applications and like you build this so many years ago and you just keep it running and they run perfectly fine, and you just forget about it and it's running for years and then suddenly something goes away or for a security reason they do something, then it might not run and you didn't see it. So you have to maintain, if they upgrade Apex versions, you have to maintain them and you have to test them.
Okay, sure. Totally makes sense. So, one more question. What a coincidence. We have a guy who knows about AOP. Because AOP, of course, is a thing. The question is, is AOP integratable into this cloud version?
Yeah, so Apex Office Print you can install on, like, there are two things. Like, one is we have the free AOP cloud, so you can connect your always free Oracle cloud with the AOP free cloud, and this is just like one there's nothing to do. It's up and running in 1 minute, right? You don't have to do anything. If you want to have something local running, you can have AOP running on one of those compute instances.
You mean the Linux machines? You can actually
on those Linux machines, yeah,
install AOP on premise on this Linux machine.
Exactly.
All right.
And then you get your PDF printing, Excel printing, or export to PowerPoint, whatever. Like, it all works.
Sounds good. I see in the background that there's AOP 21. Yesterday you released 19.3 with new features. So you're already working on 21?
Yeah, we are working on 21, and you should not see that, but
but I do, and I won't cut it out, guys. So magnify it.
But yeah, so as the Apex team announced, we will be more integrated in the next version of Apex. So we are working on that, and there are more features coming. We are always trying to improve Apex off a sprint, and we are listening to what people want. So yeah. And we follow the same scheme as Oracle, but we release more often. So we are now on AOP 19.3, where Apex is on 19.2. But
so
of course, 19.3 works on. We always try to be compatible with 4 Apex versions. So this is like 5.1, 18.1, 18.2, 19.1, 19.2, so 5. But the next version of AOP will probably drop then 5.1, Apex 5.1.
Okay. But you just released 19.3 to show off a little bit, right? That you can release 3 versions instead of Apex and the other.
Yeah, but we also have like 92.1, 92.2, so we have even more releases.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, major releases, yes.
Great. One more thing, the email issue. I saw it the other day that you wrote about it, somebody tweeted about it. There is some issue with the email thing. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, so Oracle specifies like you get 1,000 emails per month, which you can send for free. But if you look where you have to configure, so every cloud, it doesn't allow you to just send emails, because people would they would basically misuse that. So you have to verify the email addresses you send from. So in the Oracle Cloud, you have to specify, I'm going to send from dgillis@apexrnd.be. So you specify that email address, and then you can use this email address to send from the cloud. Okay. So, but
with the regular Apex mail package.
With regular Apex mail and like from the database. But this is not free. So whenever your trial expires, this is grayed out. So you cannot configure those deals at like your email addresses. You cannot configure those anymore. And so how will you be able to send 1,000 emails per month? You cannot. So although you have it, but there's also a thing like it's not what we expect from Apex. You can send like everything. Apparently, it's not the same thing. So,
so this is a real restriction regarding the Apex instance. You can send emails, or you have to sign up for a paid service, which costs you not a lot, but 10 cents for, I don't know, 1,000 emails or something, right?
Yeah, but so what I did is, so I upgrade to a paid account. Basically, what means you give a credit card to Oracle, then you are in a paid account. But as long as you use Always Free, you don't get a bill. But then the email delivery service, you can configure it. So I configure it, and it all works, and I don't have to pay. So for me, like those 1,000 emails, that's fine. If I go over, like you said, it doesn't cost much.
Okay, so, hold on. So you say you get 1,000 emails for free if you give Oracle the credit card.
This is what I experienced, yes.
And if you go over the 1,000, then you pay.
They charge you.
But we talk about 10 cents for something, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much, but
so it's 10 cents. I checked the Oracle guy sent the price list, and I clicked on it. It was 10 cents for 1,000 mails. So it's not much, but kind of weird or unfortunate, because everything is free and Apex Mail was never an issue, and nobody would actually think that this is something where money is involved.
No, it has nothing to do with money, because Oracle wouldn't earn much on this, right?
Yeah. So therefore, we hope that there will be a better solution, instead of that you have sign up for a paid account but not using it, because this would be a threshold where I would step back and say, well, I don't trust myself that I not click on the wrong option field and say, oops, I just configured another 50 databases, and Oracle wants now 10,000 euros every month from me. So therefore, it's something I don't feel comfortable with. Even if you say, yeah, just sign up for the paid account, you get the 1,000 emails for free. Don't worry, if you send 100,000, you pay $1.
Yeah.
Which is fine, totally fine, but overall, if you see all this generous offer, like 2 databases, 20 gigs, latest greatest machine, latest greatest database, 2 Linux servers, but you cannot send emails, feels a little weird.
Yeah.
That's
what it is, yeah.
Good news is that we talked to the Oracle guys, and they see it the same way, and they look into it, and they hope to find a much better solution for that. So they are aware of that, and they care. This is what I can say while talking to these people, they really care. They did an amazing job. If you just can imagine what it takes to set up a service like that, internally, technically, from the organizational standpoint, and also the provisioning platform that you can actually click it through without having 150 issues. Amazing job. And when I talk to the people, I see, okay, they are really into it. They got infected by the Oracle Apex team. It looks like that, right? They have the same. They have the same spirit. So these people are the new Oracle, like the Apex team, like the whole database team. They, this is the new part of Oracle, and you see
it's a new make Oracle great again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the continuous of that.
And they're talking to you, and they're really concerned, and they want to talk to you. They want to make it better. It's not the old arrogant Oracle. We don't care. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, and also, like, when you report something, it's a matter of weeks, days, or weeks, instead of months to get a fix.
Yeah.
So it's really fast to compare to, like, with Apex, we are used to, like, this kind of service, but with other Oracle technologies, like, not so much. But with this cloud thing, even if it is free, like, they seem really responsive.
Agree on that completely. So, anything else you want to tell us?
Well, do you want to talk about this keep alive thing?
If you want, happy.
So, so I did this series of blog posts, and although Jörg is a friend, like, he is also very public if he doesn't agree with something. So in one of the posts I did, I explained how you can circumvent the 7 days stopping of the database. And my use case was that if you really want to run production applications there, and you don't use the servers for 7 days, for example, a math application that the school is using in Belgium, during the holidays, the database would be shut down. And as a developer, I would need to log into their system, and I would need to start it again. So in those cases, you really want it to be alive forever for the schools. And you don't want them to rely on a developer to start something when they use it. So I gave an example how you can basically mimic a connection to the database. And Jürgen disagreed with that because well, you can say it yourself.
I mean, I don't disagree to your technical solution. I didn't even read it, and I'm sure it's working because it's coming from you. But in general, I respect if there are restrictions. I mean, we get something for free, and it's an amazing service, right? We all agree that this is an amazing service for free, and they come in with restriction like 20 gigs of space and one CPU, and these people put some thought into how can we manage all the requests that it's not scaling us to death. Well, they said, okay, let's say if somebody, I would say maybe 70, 80%, even more percent of the people, they just try it out once. And probably like me. And never used it ever since again. So it would be totally unfair to keep these resources up and alive, which costs us money, energy, space, especially money, which will be wasted. And then maybe there will be restrictions because it's much more expensive than expected to keep this alive. And so it will be a lose-lose situation. I would say if you don't use your database, you should be fine that it will be put to sleep after 7 days, and it should be also fine that it will be probably deleted after 90 days. If you don't want to do that, please don't be so lazy. Don't log in and click one button to start it up again. This is what you should do, right? I think just because you don't want to go through the hustle like clicking on the start button for starting your database again, for me it's like having a company car where you don't pay for the car and for the fuel, and you just say, well, it's winter time and it's always inconvenient in the morning when I go into my car. It's full of snow and it's cold. I'd rather let it run the whole night or the whole weekend. I don't use it, but I don't pay for the fuel. So why not let it run, right? It doesn't cost me anything. I say yes, it costs you because you basically steal the fuel from your company, right?
So the way that this example is really nice, because the way I see this is, if you don't use a database, the CPU is not being used anyway. Like it's almost nothing, right?
Oh,
There's
I
no
think
memory being used.
Wait a minute. I think that there must be a different status. If the database is up and running, I'm 100% sure Oracle pays more money for an up and running database instead of a sleeping database. 100% for sure.
Yeah, there's of course there's something, but the way I see it with your car, it's not that you are keeping it up on the driveway. Maybe it is, but the way I see it is, you don't use it for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then what you have to do is you have to call a mechanic, please come and start my car. This is what the school has to do. Please come and start my car. And this is what I don't want. I don't want as a mechanic.
Okay, now hold on. Now you switch the use case. Now you're not in the
as a developer, I have to start that.
Yeah, I'm in my example. In my I'm the developer of my car, and I'm just too lazy to start the engine in the morning, and I don't want to avoid waiting 60 seconds for the screen getting clean. So I'm just letting it run for the whole weekend. And I think this is wrong. I'm so not an environmentalist, right? God knows, and Steven knows, many other people. But
as a developer, I agree. I agree. Like if you don't use it,
okay.
I 100% agree with that.
Okay. So this said, I don't think it's a good idea to post a public article to give the people the feeling, oh yeah, that's okay, just do that, and you don't have to take care of that anymore. Because I don't think people give a deep thought into that. They just say, okay, he's posting that, and if Dimitri, the Oracle ACE director, is posting that, this is probably the right thing to do. And I disagree completely with that. So therefore, I would say, if you have a special use case, like with your school, I would rather talk to the Oracle Cloud people and say, hey guys, is there an exception for this instance because it's for schools, it's for, non-profit organization, or just, hey guys, I'm an ACE director and I want to show your service on a conference, and I don't want to be suddenly surprised that my database is not there anymore. I will first talk to the people if there is an exception for certain use cases instead of hacking it and even publish the hack to other people, because they don't think, they say, if Dimitri is doing it, then it's fine because Dimitri is doing it, right? They don't put a lot of thought into it.
But this goes two ways, because like what you have now is people read a blog post and then they figure, oh, we really want to use it for the local cricket club, and like they only, like, it's a game every 2 weeks, and then they log into the app, and so they either they message me because they find that, oh, he wrote about things, and they saw like you have to log in, and then they ask me like, this is what I plan to do, and then you see the craziest things. Like, so I expect not everybody is messaging me and they are just trying things, so they're putting extra load on the database.
Okay,
putting, like,
this is
extra things, and this is why I say, like, with a big disclaimer, this is the easiest way and the most efficient way for you to keep something running if you want to run a production app in the always free cloud. And by the way, you have to live with, it might go down, it might go, like there are restrictions with it. But this is, if you are in this case, this is how you can do it. Instead of like, they are doing this, somebody else is doing that, somebody else is trying to message me, and after the day that I don't reply, they send another email, and like then they ask you because they see that we talked. So but of course, the best way would be that Oracle provides an option where you can say, dear Oracle, like, please, instead of 7 days, can we have it, for example, 21 days? Because this is the window where the application is being used in.
I mean, if there is this option, everybody would click it, right? There has to be a decision. So there must be a reason that they said 7 days, because they calculated the whole costs roughly to say, well, we expect so many people installing it, and we expect maybe 20% really using it. So we expect that 80% of the databases are not even up at all at any time, right? Mm-hmm. And what you're explaining is like saying, hey guys, instead of blowing up a wall to the bank, I show you a smarter way to get into a bank without blowing up the wall. Right? This is still not. Doesn't make it right. I mean,
but so you're saying don't make it publicly available?
First of all, I say, guys, you get something for free with restrictions. Please respect the restrictions. People thought about that. It's not just coming to make you angry. So they thought about it. They calculated it. It's for free because they calculated it that 80% of the databases are not up and running. And now suddenly you are hacking the system and you're exploiting their offer and say, well, I'm too lazy to shut it up again, or I'm using it for a project which is accessed every 3 weeks, right? Well, bad news. Then this service is not for you. Then you have to sign up for a paid version, or go to any other provider who provides you an Apex instance for $20 a month. But in general, this is what they gave us for free with their restriction, and we should respect it no matter what. Period. This is my, and I wouldn't, and this is the one thing. The other thing, personal thing, I wouldn't recommend you as the Oracle ACE director, who has so much reputation, to actually post instruction how to hack this shutting down option. I wouldn't do that. If you do it for yourself because you say, well, I have this use case in my school, and I think Oracle will be fine for that, and I'm smart enough to do that, I would say, I give you that, and nobody, you wouldn't go to hell for that. I'm pretty sure you won't go to hell for that. But making this thing public, that everybody is doing it without even understanding, and I'm 100% sure 90% of the people who are doing that, they don't have a how do you say, a nice use case, or for a non-profit, where everybody would say, well, this is the exception of the rule.
Yeah. You don't want to put like a bomb out there, like how to make a bomb.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You don't want to put that out there. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. So therefore, I would do it silently for you, or even talk to the Oracle guys and say, hey guys, I'm an ACE director. I want to have a thing up and running every day without even thinking about it, because I want to show it every day. Please provide me. And I think they're happy to say, yeah, sure, you are our sales guy anyway. Or you come up with a special request for a special project. Talk to the guys. Maybe there's an option to say, okay, we checked the application. We see it's really used. It's used by the school. We provide you a special status that it's not shutting down in your case. This is the good way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And
but I don't want to be treated differently. So my case is just like, if you want to run production applications on this always free, given that you can live with this conditions, you have to talk to Oracle, I guess, to do that, or you have to know what is happening.
Wait a minute, you need to have a productive application which is not used for a whole week.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't be that important. And if it's crazy important, right, then I would ask, is there money involved? Is it that important? And if there is money involved, then you should give some of the money to Oracle.
No, but I agree. Like this always free cloud, it depends where Oracle sees this going. Like, do they see this for like just development? Do they see this for like, given that you can live with the restrictions, you can run like smaller applications on it for production? But so my general advice is, if this is a really important application and you want to use the always free cloud, you need to take the backups yourself. Make sure to do that. And at this stage, it's still a bit early to really rely on the service, because it's new, it's great. But like, for example, with the shutdown, there's still a little bug in it. And I only found it because of this. Like, I check every day, like my database.
You can call it a hack.
Yeah, you can call it a hack. So, but because of that, like, I found this bug, and
which is basically fixed by now.
Yeah. So they do everything to fix that. But yeah, so I would recommend try the service out, and if you really want to run production applications on it,
be aware of the restrictions. Ask the question: is my service used at least once in 7 days? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
The only thing. If it's not used, well, then are you earning money for it? Yes. Then please share the money with Oracle.
But if, like in normal cases, you run a monitoring tool anyway, and then you don't have the issue because there's a ping every time to your application to see if it is still alive. So in theory, you if you really do a production application, which with monitoring, you don't have this issue at all.
So I agree that maybe it's not 100% stable yet. I'm pretty sure it isn't. We have to realize that this came out at Open World, and it was there after Open World. Meaning,
it was there before Open World.
It was
like for the public people. Yeah, it was there straight after Open World.
Exactly.
At Open World.
Yeah,
and this is impressive. Normally they announce something, and it's only like next year that they have.
If ever, if they ever come back to it, right? And so be aware. So this is 0.9. They had to bring it out till Open World. So, and they did an amazing job for that.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
But it's still better. Give them a couple of months to fix the first bugs, and give them another year for working out all the kinks and making it a real stable service, which I'm 100% sure they will get to it, because now I know one guy and I can 100% say they will gonna make it.
Mm-hmm. And also they learn a lot, like all the people who are using it, they learn a lot from the feedback that we give them as a community too.
Yeah.
Like the Apex team listens to us and they listen to us too.
Yeah, and so this is new. This is new.
Exactly. Yeah.
We are used to that.
This is a big change for Oracle.
It's a big change for Oracle. We used to that because we are used to that for the Oracle team, but this is so completely new from a database or even cloud team, right? Cloud was terrible before.
They listen to the very big customers, but now, like with Apex, there was like us, right? Like the small guys, let's say.
Yeah, but
now they also listen to us.
Yeah,
and this is like.
But we are driving the business, right? If we are at the customers.
We are working for big companies. We are driving the business.
All right. Thanks, Dimitri.
You're welcome.
Great talk. Guys, if you have any questions, write it down in the comments. We will monitor the comments. You can write to Dimitri directly. You won't. There is nothing you can ask me. I can really answer. So rather ask Dimitri. But you can lead the discussion in the comment section, and
maybe put a reference to the blog, because there are like 15 blog posts.
And
I will add more blog posts while I'm going. So
sure. All right, and looking forward to AUP 21 with fancy features, which I don't see 100%, but now I see them. Make a screenshot, guys. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.